Welcome back to Community Coffee Time. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 5 of Community Coffee Time. I am live here on Zoom and on Facebook, so there's about a 20-second delay, but if I look down, I'm kind of looking at the Facebook comments to just make sure that I'm interacting with everybody. There, my sound was on Facebook. Let's not hear the delay. So if you want to comment, please feel free, and I'll be keeping an eye on that in the chat. Today, we are going to discuss the benefits of drumming. But first, it is community coffee time. And today, I'm very excited. I have a grande pumpkin cold brew from Starbucks, pumpkin cream cold brew from Starbucks. They just came out with their pumpkin drinks yesterday, and I've gone, and pumpkin is like my favorite drink, although it competes with the peppermint mocha. But if you know me, I love pumpkin spice. This is my season. I'm ready for fall. I still have remnants of summer decorated, but next week I'm going to change my little online setup here to be more autumn-ish. Although I do have Stephanie Level's Halloween book out. Shiny Little Monster ready to go. So we are ready for fall over here. And I got my pumpkin spice cold cream brew today. I highly recommend it, especially if you like pumpkin. If you don't like pumpkin, probably avoid it. But that's my coffee. What are you drinking today? Are you a pumpkin spice fan? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, today we're going to talk about the benefits of drumming. So I am a percussionist, as many of you may know. And if you're one of my percussion buddies kind of checking this out, wave at me in the comments. I'd love to see you guys. But yeah, I've been playing percussion for a very long time. I started in 3rd grade and then picked it up again in middle school. And middle school is really when I hit the ball running with it. I would go to school early before middle school to practice percussion in the mornings before school. And this continued through high school. I went to undergrad as a percussion major, started in music ed, switched to music therapy, but took percussion lessons for most of my time there and had 2 recitals on percussion. So just a lot of percussion experiences, a lot of drumming experiences. And I've enjoyed all of it. Like percussion's been such an important part of my life, just almost through all of it. And not only like the performance aspect of it, but then like the social aspect. The people I've met through percussion and through playing percussion together are some of the best memories that I have of high school, of undergrad, of even just like working on a piece before a performance of somebody is like a moments that stick in my head. Just kind of that camaraderie that you make with other people. And so I've just had really positive music experiences. I got to go to Panama and play percussion with the UGA Wind Ensemble, and just a lot of really positive performance experiences. And we got to teach in Panama too, so teaching experiences as well. And then I taught a fret ensemble while I was an undergrad too, to kind of continue the joy I had from marching band, because I've done marching band and different wind ensembles and jazz bands and steel drum bands. That's a lot of fun. And I played with orchestras, so just a lot of different experiences. And kind of one thing that really drives me in my business is I want to make experiences like this accessible to people who are interested in the experiences that might not have as much accessibility to these different drumming experiences. So we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. I'll talk about my online bucket drumming group I have coming up. But first, we're going to dive into several benefits of drumming. So kind of off what I was just saying, drumming is accessible. To start drumming, to participate in drumming, and even to adapt drumming, it's very accessible for individuals. Some other instruments have higher fine motor demands and more breathing that has to be like incorporated from the get-go. But with percussion, striking the drum makes the note, the sound, the music. And because of that, is a little more accessible for many individuals to start on a drum and to participate in a music experience immediately with success, versus other instruments where that might be more difficult. And then there's many ways to adapt drumming as well, for individuals that might need that extra support as well too. Different kinds of ways to position your setups, different ways to adapt drumsticks or mallets, or to decide to opt out of using drumsticks or mallets as well too, to adapt these instruments and make them more accessible. So that's one, drumming is accessible. Two, drumming is social. And I touched on that in my own experiences. But a lot of times when you're drumming with other people, it's a very positive social experience. And there's been a couple of studies done. So in one study, they found that when you kept a synchronized beat with somebody, you were more willing to help them pick up pencils that they dropped. So they would have the drummer, kind of the participant of the study, learn a rhythm, and then they would go in with like the person that was part of the test, and they would either drum with the person or be out of time. And when they were out of time, people picked up less pencils. When after the drumming, they would drop a bunch of pencils. And when you were in time, people were shown to pick up more pencils, and they've developed a more positive prosocial relationship with someone just by keeping the beat with them. So we have this neurological connection with other people, even when we just keep a beat. And what's exciting about drumming and synchronizing is that synchronization to an external beat, or playing in time with an external beat, is very accessible to people as well too. It's been found in another study that despite neurological differences in the brain, that keeping a synchronized beat was still accessible and intact to people with neurological differences. So it doesn't, sorry, tongue-tied. So even if you have different neurological differences or a diagnosis, for many individuals, this accessibility to keep a steady synchronized beat is still intact. I've found in my experience working with people, sometimes that needs to be practiced, like it might not be perfectly in time, but still it's accessible to people, which is really exciting. Next, drumming is a sensory experience. So when you're drumming, it's a multi-sensory experience. You're getting proprioceptive stimulation, which is feeling your body in space. When you're hitting the drum, you get tactile. When you feel that surface of the drum, there's much auditory stimulation going on. And this can be adapted for different individuals who are either sensory seeking. This could be really enriching, having this multi-sensory experience. And then with people with sensory sensitivities, this can be adapted as well too, to provide the most safe sensory experience that's appropriate for each individual that is worked with. So drumming is a sensory experience. Next, drumming improves motor abilities and promotes neuroplasticity. So drumming's been found to improve different motor abilities in music therapy. And a lot of this comes from that foundation of rhythm and how when you drum, it's very rhythmic. And rhythmic cues have been found to improve functional brain connectivity and social communication. So what this means is a rhythmic cue is when the rhythm is timed to the motor movement, so that there's like that motor structure that people can follow to another like steady external beat. And these rhythmic cues have been found to improve functional brain activity and connectivity because several parts of the brain are lighting up when you're making music, and even the act of listening to music lights up motor areas of the brain because of the rhythmic functions of music. And so you have these different areas lighting up, and as you practice, different connectivities can promote neuroplasticity or changes in the brain, which is exciting. And So the study by LaGasse and Hyde says short periods of engagement with rhythmic cueing can drive cortical plasticity, promoting structural and functional connectivity changes in the brain. So, and this is, this is rhythms, which is a big base of drumming. So drumming can really help improve these connections and really hone in on them. And we know it's accessible for individuals too. So they're honing in on this accessibility and improving connections in the brain. And then from this, because different sensory needs are being met, this can help improve communication and socialization goals, helping with self-regulation. And then also, as different areas of the brain are lighting up, you have communication areas of the brain lighting up with the motor areas. And there's different motor functions involved in communicating and even in socializing sometimes. And so as the motor improves, some of these different areas of individuals with disabilities that you would work with, some of these other goal areas can improve because of the motor and rhythmic improvements, which is just awesome. I'm gonna wait. Rhythm has a rhythm. Drumming, the next benefit of drumming is drumming provides structure. So I briefly touched on this with the last point, but rhythm is keeping time, having music in space in a specific time and space. And so that's literally providing structure for people to play when they're playing rhythms. And then depending on form, you could have like one section and then another section that makes things really predictable and structured. And for a lot of the individuals I work with, like individuals with autism, this structure can be crucial in helping their learning with drumming. And so, and their safety and with the drumming as well too, and feeling safe with the drumming because it's predictable, because it has this structure, and it's a consistent activity to look forward towards if you have it in the week, knowing that your drumming is coming up. So my final benefit I'm going to touch on today is that drumming has been shown to improve mental health. And I've shared this study a couple of times on my business page because I just think it's so cool. So in it, they found that group drumming improved mental health, including symptoms of anxiety and depression, and improving social resilience. And all they did was meet for a certain amount of weeks. I think it's 10 off the top of my head, but I'm just trying to remember. And they would drum for 10 weeks, and they found that all of these mental health different areas improved from the group drumming. And so it's been shown to improve mental health, which is exciting too. So it's improving mood, it's providing structure, it can improve motor, communication, socialization in this rich sensory experience that is accessible. So obviously my own drumming experiences, I didn't think these things in high school, but looking back, I can see how even a lot of this has benefited me with my drumming experiences as well too. So I really look forward to bringing some of that benefits to my online bucket drumming group, and with all of my current clients too. They do a lot of drumming because of a lot of these rich benefits. So our takeaway today is I'm going to show you guys a drumming example that you can do at home. Gotta get my setup. So what we're going to do is called 8 on a hand. And this is a very common marching band warm up. So I got my bucket kind of acting as a music stand, but I'm going to put a practice pad on it for today. It's kind of hard to get both of you. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right hand. Left hand. And together. This is called a double stop. That's it. And that's something that you could do over and over. Sometimes you can alternate into eighth notes as a variation at the end. And the biggest thing about it is like matching technique between the hands. But I feel like this is a great example of that steady beat that can easily be done at home. Even if you don't have a drum or a practice pad, you could just use your lap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And kind of matching even sounds in your hands. But the main thing is just keeping that steady beat. So you could put on a song that your family really enjoys, that your kiddos really enjoy at home. Dropped my phone earlier. Sorry if it made a crash. Too excited about drumming. I'm like throwing things around. But yeah, you can put on like a favorite song and then just do like 8 on one hand, 8 on another hand, and together. And if that's too much, that's okay. Honestly, just working towards keeping any steady beat, as we talked about, is super beneficial and can begin to develop drumming skills for you or for your family. So with that, you can drum on your lap, you can drum on kitchen drums, you can drum on a bucket, on a practice pad, with sticks, with hands, whatever works best for you. Remember, it's accessible, so figure out what works best for you, or what works best for your family. And it's okay if you're drumming on a kitchen drum or on the floor, it's still drumming, and you can still get these benefits and enriching experience from drumming on the floor. You know, it's perfectly fine, and it can still be a lot of fun too. So it's fun, motivating, and has all these other benefits going on. So to kind of wrap up, I'm going to talk about my online bucket drumming group a little bit. This group is for preteens and teenagers because, like I kind of talked about earlier, I really want to create kind of a high school drumline experience, especially for teens and preteens that aren't necessarily getting that experience in their education, you know, for whatever reason, or could use more supplemental drumming outside of school or lessons. And just to create this kind of drumline group so that they can have a positive social experience and learn the beginning percussion techniques, percussion rhythms, and playing with others to kind of create that own kind of high school drumline experience. And so this is for all beginners of that age. For individuals with disabilities, without disabilities, I want this to be inclusive and ready to meet everybody's needs on their individual level as we just kind of have fun on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Mountain Time and learn to drum together. So again, you can drum on whatever you want. I call it online bucket drumming because I'll have a bucket, but honestly, like if buying a bucket's not in the budget right now, that's fine. Drum on a kitchen drum, it will be a mixed drumming experience. Drum on the floor. If you have a hand drum, that's perfectly fine too. And we'll make it work and just have a lot of fun with our online bucket drumming. So yeah, so in the description of this video, you can find the registration link, and there's more information in there as well too that leads you to my website. And if at any time you have any questions about the group, please feel free to comment on this video or email me at bonnie@rhythmicrootsmusictherapy.org. I'm super happy to answer any questions. If you like to 8 on a hand, consider joining my monthly newsletter in September. I'm going to send out a handout of that written out for all my newsletter subscribers. So I'll add that to the description later after the video if you're interested in that as well. And yeah, just let me know if you have any questions or any comments on any of the research today. I'm happy to discuss. All the research links will be in the description too. They look long and kind of overwhelming altogether, but if you copy and paste it into like Google, it should, they're all like open public access articles. So you should be able to read on your own leisure about those as well too. So yeah, I'm trying to think, I don't want to forget anything. But yeah, bucket drumming registration's open. It's $120 for 6 weeks of drumming. And yeah, I'm looking forward to creating a drumming group. Oh, what I wanted to mention was I'm in Colorado and mostly work with Colorado families, but because this is an online group, If you are not in Colorado and have a preteen or a teen that's interested in this group, please feel free to reach out to me. I think just making sure the time zone works for you is the biggest thing, because this is definitely not Colorado specific. That's my community that I really feel for. But if you're in another state, let's do this. You are totally welcome to the group. Don't feel like it's closed to other states. So if you're in another state and you have any questions, please feel free to ask me as well too. Awesome. I'm going to go finish the rest of this pumpkin cream cold brew from Starbucks. And I hope that you guys all have a great day. And I hope that the beginning of the school year is going well. I know this is definitely a stressful, chaotic time as the year kind of continues. So hopefully this video can be an extra support for you, using your 8 on a hand at home to gain the benefits of drumming as well. So yes, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time on Community Coffee Time.